9 experienced hikers entered the Ural Mountains in the winter of 1959. Weeks later, rescuers discovered their tent ripped open from the inside. Their boots were still neatly placed inside the tent. Footprints in the snow showed the hikers had walked away into the freezing night, some barefoot. The first bodies were found beside a small fire, others were scattered across the mountain, and the final 4 were buried deep under snow with injuries investigators compared to a car crash. For decades, people blamed avalanches, secret weapons tests, UFOs, and even a Yeti. But today, there may finally be an explanation. This is the mystery of Dyatlov Pass. In January 1959, a group of students from the Ural Polytechnical Institute began a winter ski expedition across the northern Ural Mountains. Their leader was Igor Dyatlov, a 23-year-old engineering student and experienced outdoorsman. 10 hikers originally began the journey. But one member, Yuri Yudin, turned back early because of illness. That decision saved his life. The remaining 9 continued deeper into the mountains. None of them would return. The group carefully documented their trip. They kept diaries, they wrote letters, and they took photographs along the way. On February 1, 1959, the hikers set up camp on the slope of a mountain called Kolatsiakal. The name roughly translates to Dead Mountain. That night temperatures dropped to nearly minus 30 degrees Celsius. Sometime during the night, something happened. Something that caused 9 experienced hikers to cut their way out of their tent and flee into the darkness. When the hikers failed to return, search teams were sent into the mountains. On February 26, rescuers found the campsite. The tent was partially buried in snow. It had been cut open from the inside. Inside were boots, jackets, cameras, and food. Footprints led away from the tent toward a forest, nearly 1.5 kilometers away. The hikers were not running. They appeared to be walking, but many of them had no shoes. The first 2 bodies were found under a cedar tree. They were wearing only underwear. Nearby was the remains of a small fire. 3 more hikers were found between the tree and the tent. Their position suggested they had tried to return to their campsite, but they never made it. Months later, the final 4 bodies were discovered buried in a ravine. Their injuries shocked investigators. 1 had a fractured skull. 2 had crushed ribs. Doctors said the injuries were comparable to the impact of a car crash. Even stranger, some bodies were missing eyes and soft tissue. Clothing from the hikers also showed traces of radiation. The mystery only deepened. Over the years, many theories were proposed. Some believed the hikers were attacked, others suspected secret Soviet weapons tests. There were even reports of glowing lights seen in the sky that night. More extreme theories suggested a Yeti or extraterrestrial involvement. But none of these explanations had solid evidence. One theory kept returning: an avalanche. In 2019, Russian authorities reopened the Dyatlov Pass investigation. After reviewing weather data and the terrain, they concluded a slab of snow likely broke loose above the tent. Not a massive avalanche, but enough to strike the tent and force the hikers to escape quickly. The hikers fled downhill toward the forest. They attempted to survive by building a fire. Some died from hypothermia. Others attempted to return to the tent. The final group built a snow shelter in a ravine, but it likely collapsed under heavy snow, causing the severe injuries. A scientific study in 2021 later showed that this type of snow slab could realistically cause the injuries found on the hikers. Today the mountain pass is named Dyatlov Pass, in honor of the expedition's leader. The mystery may never feel completely solved, because the evidence will always appear unsettling: the slashed tent, the footprints in the snow, the bodies scattered across the mountain. But the most likely explanation is not monsters or secret weapons. It is something far more tragic. 9 hikers were caught in one of the harshest environments on Earth, and one moment of disaster set off a chain of events they could not survive.